Let's have a good show.
You're watching the first 24-hour news station in Texas for Texans. This is TXCN, Texas Cable News.
Mike's cute.
The political speculation machine is in high gear as Governor George Bush appears to have chosen a running mate for vice president.
The man in the spotlight isn't saying a word yet, but many media outlets report the choice is firm. Dick Cheney, the CEO of Dallas-based Halliburton, will likely be tapped to run with Bush. WFAA-TV's Vince Patton reports.
Rolls tracking.
Dick Cheney left his Dallas home this morning without a word. Until now, he has been leading the hunt for Governor Bush.
Dr. Cooley is a noted cardiologist in Houston who examined Cheney's medical records and pronounced him fit to run. Vince Patton, TXCN.
And as for Bush, he is back in Austin after a weekend retreat at his ranch in Central Texas. The Associated Press reports he will officially offer the job to Cheney tonight. And Cheney has told the AP that he will accept. A Bush spokesperson says that after he calls the other candidates, he will schedule a public announcement. Of course, stay with TXCN for the latest on Bush and his running mate.
Meanwhile, Democratic presidential hopeful Al Gore was in Michigan today, picking up the Sierra Club's endorsement. Officials for the environmental group say supporting Gore reinforces their commitment to cut air and water pollution. Gore then met with union leaders in Ohio, another big Midwestern industrial state that is key to the race. And one more political note, the Reform Party is in even more turmoil. Pat Buchanan's main rival for the Reform Party nomination is charging him with trying to steal the party from its founders. John Hagelin says it's likely Buchanan is cheating in submitting 500,000 names of possible voters in the Reform Party's national primary election. Many, he said, did not even request a ballot. Hagelin wants his rival disqualified from being nominated. Buchanan pulled out of the Republican Party last year to join the Reform Party.
Crews are still cleaning up and making repairs following the severe storms that rolled through Houston yesterday. Heavy winds and rain destroyed several trees and downed power lines. Nearly 200,000 people were left in the dark for hours, but Reliant Energy has restored power to most of those customers. Houston's Public Works Department is hiring temporary help to fix the city's broken water mains. Houston residents are complaining public crews are not moving fast enough. So the city has hired 20 temporary workers, and it's shifting some public works employees around to allow more people to help with repairs.
Coming up at 20 after in our focus, we'll hear the Dallas Morning News' Wayne Slater's take on Dick Cheney as George W. Bush's vice presidential candidate.
And ahead in news outside Texas, a Florida hostage situation comes to an end.
And weather conditions are making it difficult to fight wildfires at a national park in Colorado.
Well, we saw little relief from the heat here today. Chicago Windler joins us with the forecast. Chicago.
You're watching the first 24-hour news station in Texas for Texans. This is TXCN, Texas Cable News.
Mike's and Q.
In a strange twist of fate, the man called on to give George W. Bush advice about his running mate may be on the short list himself.
Republican presidential hopeful George W. Bush says he'll make a decision this weekend on a running mate. He'll mull over his choices at his new ranch near Waco. It appears a favorite on the list was right under his nose the whole time, former Defense Secretary Dick Cheney. WFAA-TV's Macy Jepson has more.
One wonders to whom one listens for advice when making one of the most important decisions of his political life.
31, the administration out to 2 OTS.
The main tests are, can the person be the president? And will the person be loyal to the administration?
Another of Bush's potential running mates faced some frightening moments Friday. Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating's plane had landing gear problems. Keating says the plane shook at about 900 feet after taking off from Washington, D.C., and then started to shudder violently. The pilot managed to land the plane safely at Wiley Post Airport in Oklahoma.
For the second time in a week, the federal government has been cleared of wrongdoing in its actions in the Branch Davidian standoff. In a preliminary report released Friday, Special Counsel John Danforth concluded with, quote, 100% certainty that the government was innocent of wrongdoing. Danforth was appointed by the Attorney General to investigate the government's role in the standoff. The committee concluded that government agents did not start the fire, agents did not shoot at Davidians, the government did not improperly use the military, and did not engage in a cover-up. The findings echo the conclusions made last week by a Waco jury in the wrongful death lawsuit.
Some good news for TXU electric customers who can't pay their inflated summer bills. Friday, TXU cleared up some confusion about high electric bills. The company says it will not disconnect the electricity if the heat is severe enough to be life-threatening. So if a heat advisory is in effect, the power stays on.
We do not want anyone
Super clear, 18 seconds to get that bill paid off. VO continues with Michael.
People who are afraid to use their air conditioner, go ahead and use it. Give us a call. Don't worry about the bill. We will work with them.
Stand by, Michael.
To make arrangements to get that bill paid off.
State Representative Domingo Garcia authored a bill that prohibits power companies from cutting off electricity for non-payment during a weather emergency or on a weekend. Anyone with questions can call TXU at 1-800-242-9113.
What is up?
State officials are making new recommendations to reduce smog in Houston. The new proposal by the Texas Natural Resource Conservation Center recommends lowering the speed limit to 55 miles per hour, stricter tailpipe test for vehicles, a 90% reduction in major industrial emissions, and a ban on the use of heavy construction equipment and gas-powered lawn equipment.
Coming up next in our Texas Health Report, why the Red Cross is turning away potential blood donors who have a tattoo or body piercing during the last year.
And in news outside Texas, world leaders are greeted by an earthquake as they arrive in Japan for the World Summit.
Plus, wildfires scorch a national park in Colorado.
But first, scorching temperatures across Texas. More to come. Brian joins us now.
Switch.